जय श्री राम। नरसिंह मेहता जी कहते हैं, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे, पीड़ पराई जाने रे। Vaishnava, Hindu, Sanatani is one who intuits the suffering of the others, of the entire creation, be it even an animal or a plant. Vaishnava Jana To tene kahiye je peed parai jaane re. He who knows, understands, sympathizes. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे। पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये, पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान न आने रे. If he helps somebody who is suffering, he does not take pride, or he does not develop any kind of arrogance for having done so. Normally when we do somebody a favor or help somebody who is suffering, we acquire this ego that we are doing great work and charity, and we are therefore very magnanimous and charitable and noble souls. Yes, we are all noble anyway. We are all Amrutasya Putraha. We Hindus are all Amrutasya Putra. Why? Because the Veda declares, Shrunvantu Vishve Amrutasya Putraha Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu. All of you will attain the celestial realms. Divyani Tastu. Aye Dhamani. So all Hindus are Rishi Santati. Rishi Santati. We are descendants of Rishis. The Vedas were composed by roughly 400 Rishis, out of which 40 were women, Rishikas. No other religion has female deities or prophets. Only Sanatana Dharma. So, we don't have caste anyway. That is Kulam, Jati, Kulam. Jati. Jati is actually lineage, the family trait. Who have you descended from? Consanguinity means Gotram in English. Gotram, the word in English is consanguinity. Gotramu. That means we are all descendants of a particular Rishi. Gotram is defined in English as consanguinity, which is descent from a common male ancestor. That is why we don't marry a girl of the same Gotra. Because if you do so, then that will be like marrying your sister. In other religions, of course, they do all that. Let's not waste our time discussing these scoundrels. So, now let us get back. Kulam is the family profession. See, if you are born in a family which has a particular profession, so informal training starts taking place right from the childhood. So, by the time the child is 20 years old, he should be an expert in that area. Others may have to get acquired training. For example, as a Brahmin, from childhood my father taught me Bhagavad Gita shlokas. There is always chanting of mantras. So I naturally acquired, in spite of all the effect of Bollywood and all this secular nonsense, I still somehow managed to survive. So that is Kulam. So, Jati, Kula, Varna, Vyavastha. Varna is the psychological disposition. See, with the Varna, if you are a person who spends a lot of time studying, teaching, inspiring people, then you are a Brahmin. But not all have this temperament, so that doesn't make them in any sense inferior. If you are a physically strong person and you can protect people, and then you are also the type who actually gets into physical action and probably will resort to violence to protect some innocent person, then you are a Kshatriya. Some people have a natural flair for business, that is a Vaishya. And some people who can't do all the other three serve others, all naukri. If you are doing naukri, then you are a Shudra. Naukar, you are a naukar. When you become a naukar, that is called naukri. So Hindus are basically, we prefer not to be naukars. Of course, it doesn't mean that if you are a naukar, you are in some way inferior. Yeah, you should be a world leader. The number of Shudras should actually decrease. The whole function of Sanatana Dharma is to raise everyone to the level of a Brahmin. Brahminhood is the target. Everyone should acquire the thinking of a Brahmin, and develop the traits of all the other four. So this is how it has to be understood. Next. So where are we now? Vaishnava Jana To tene kahiye je peed parai jaane re, पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान न आने रे. सकल लोकमा सहुने बंदे, सकल लोकमा सोहुने वंदे, निंदा न करे केणी रे. He bows, shows respect to all, treats the whole world as a family, and also respects everyone, unconditional positive regard. Ninda na kare keni re. Does not cast aspersion on anybody, doesn't waste time accusing anyone. वाचकाच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेणी रे. His वाचकाच मन, speech, work and mind are all nischal, that is calm, devoid of any malice, and dhan dhan janani teni re. Blessed is that mother who has given birth to such a human being. Blessed indeed is the mother who has given birth to such a Vaishnava. You see, samadrishti ne trishna tyagi. Samadrishti, equanimity, he treats everyone equally. Trishna tyagi, all these hankerings and cravings and yen and longings and addictions, uncontrollable desires, these are all given up. A Vaishnava doesn't suffer from that. Of course, there are dharmartha, kama, mokshas are there, bodily needs are satisfied, but that doesn't mean that he is always laboring under these addictions. Samadrushti ne trishna tyagi, parastri jene matre, treats parastri as a mother. Jihwa thaki asatya na bole, par dhan nav jale hatire. Even if the tongue is tired, well, this is an idiomatic expression. Jihwa thaki asatya na bole, he will never utter an untruth. Par dhan nav jale hatire, never lays his hand on another's property. This song by Narsi Mehta, a great saint of Gujarat in the 15th century, is the best definition of who is a Hindu. Vaishnava Jana To tene kahiye je. Samadrishti ne trishna tyagi, parastri jene matre, jihva thaki asatya na bole, par dhan nav jale hatre. Moh maya vyape nahi jene, drudha vairagya jena man mare. Moh maya does not delude him. So he is beyond, he has transcended all the delusions that normally afflict mankind. Moh maya. We get carried away. We get obsessive about our wealth, lokavasana, dehavasana, shastravasana. Rama describes them very nicely. In Muktikopanishad, he says, dehavasana. That means obsession about the body, beautifying the body, taking care of the body 24 hours, doing all kinds of exercises so that you become even more beautiful and charming and all that. But what about beautifying your soul? What about beautifying your mind? Hardly anything. They are applying all kinds of creams to beautify their faces. But what about the Atma? What about your character? They don't do that. And then Deha Vasana, Shastra Vasana. That means taking pride in having read so many Shastras and books. With a few qualifications, people start thinking that they have understood everything. They have learned so much. And then Lokavasana. They want to be praised. They will acquire honors and they want to be treated as chief guests. This sense of entitlement is very strong. So if you can give up all these Dehavasana, Shastravasana, Lokavasana, if you don't give up these obsessions, then you will have a very difficult time ahead in life. Mohamaya vyape nahi jene drudha vairagya jena manamare. Drudha vairagya. He has this conviction. And what is this conviction? He is totally detached. We own nothing here. Yes, we are possessors. And we must use these things carefully and not donate to the undeserving also. So, Drudha Vairagyam. Drudha Vairagyam. That means firm, unshakable detachment. They are immersed but detached. That is how Krishna was. That is how Rama was. Totally immersed but detached. So try to be like that, immersed and detached. राम नाम सु ताली लागी सकल तीर्थ तेना तन मारे. Constantly chanting Ram Naam. Every breath chants Ram Naam. Rom Rom mein Ram hai. In every cell. So Ram Naam su tali lagi sakal tirth tena tan mare. So Rom Rom mein Ram hai. Rom means fine hair. That is, fine hair all over the body. Millions of fine hairs are there. In all these hairs, imagine the word Ram has been inscribed on every hair of your body. Oh my God, just imagine. That is Rom Rom mein Ram hona. Rom Rom mein Ram hai does not mean that Ram is in Rome. So Rom Rom mein Ram hai. Rom Rom mein basne wale Ram. It's a lovely song. It's a bhajan from the old movie Neel Kamal, sung by I think Asha Bhosle. रोम रोम में बसने वाले राम, जगत के स्वामी हे अंतर्यामी, मैं तुझसे क्या मांगूं, हे रोम रोम में बसने वाले राम. Please listen to that lovely bhajan. So, what is our Narsi Mehta ji saying? राम नाम सु ताली लागी सकल तीरथ तेना तन मारे. All the pilgrimages are there in the body of this Vaishnava. If you see such a Vaishnava, that itself is tantamount to going to a pilgrimage, right? Then last charanam, last stanza. Van lobhi ne kapat rahit che काम क्रोध निवार्यारे. Van lobhi ne kapat rahit che काम क्रोध निवार्यारे. All the Arishad Vargas have been conquered. Ari is a Sanskrit word for enemy. There are 6 major enemies, internal enemies. Arindamaha, Rama is described as Arindamaha. That means one who has conquered all the internal enemies. See, external enemies are less dangerous. The internal enemies are the real problem. Who are the internal enemies? The Arishad Vargas. Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya. Kama is uncontrolled desire. Krodha is uncontrolled anger. Kama, Krodha, Moha, delusion. Living under some kind of illusion that if you do this ritual, if you worship this fellow, call some donkey a god, call some hairy fellow or hairless fellow, Jatilo Mundi, Lunchita Kesha, Kashayambara, Bhaukata Vesha. Be careful. Not all can be called God. So there's a difference, isn't it? Who must be called a god? What is the definition? Definitions are available in the Shastras. One best definition I can think of is in the Vishnu Puran. Bhaga asya asti iti Bhagavan. Aishwarasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa shriyaha jnana vairagya yoschaiva shannam bhaga iti rana. So God has certain traits, okay? We will discuss this in detail in another. So don't, everyone cannot be called an engineer or doctor, right? He has to go through a course and he has to have a certification. So God also has a CV and biodata. So don't just because so many people are worshipping some fellow, now you also don't start doing that. That is herd mentality. So Narsi Mehta says, Vanalobhi ne kapata rahit che kam krodha nivaryare bhane narasayyo tenu darshan karta kula yekoter taryare Bhane nara sanyo tenu darshan karta kula yeko ter taryare. Narsi Mehta says, seeing such a person, having the darshan of such a person will ensure that your entire family gets moksham. Not just you yourself. That is the impact of such a person, spiritually evolved, Sanatan Dharma. Such is a Vaishnava, such is a Sanatani. Krishna clearly says in the Uddhava Gita, Krishna says, Madbhakti yukto bhuvanam punita. Madbhakti yukto bhuvanam punati. So Krishna clearly declares, Madbhakti yukto bhuvanam punati. Punita, punati, of course, these are interchangeable. Fungible means exchangeable. So what Krishna is saying is, my devotee purifies the whole world. So You must develop a therapeutic personality, and you must develop a spiritualizing aura. When your presence and speech should be such that it should uplift people. Jai Shri Ram. This is Vaishnava Jana To, Tene Kahiye Je, composed by Narsi Mehta. Try to memorize this. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जान रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान न आने रे सकल लोक मा सौने वंदे निंदा न करे केणी रे वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेनी रे समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी परस्त्री जेणे मात रे जिह्वा थकी असत्य न बोले पर धन नव जाले हाथ रे मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जेणे दृढ़ वैराग्य जेना मन मारे राम नाम सु ताली लागी सकल तीर्थ तेना तन मारे वण लोभी ने कपट रहित चे काम क्रोध निवार्या रे भण नर सैयो तेनु दर्शन करता कुल एको तेर तार्या रे।